What is past life healing? And what are some ways that we can shift the relationship that we have with the other lifetimes we've lived on Earth? That's what we're going to talk about today. Thanks so much for being here. My name is Christine from Kyanite Psychic Services, and I love to help highly sensitive, creative souls build confidence and trust in their unique gifts and abilities. If you'd like to find out more about me and the services that I offer, you can check out my website, which is kyanitepsychic.com. Let's just start with a simple definition of what past life healing is. And to do that, I'm going to back up a step first and just give you a simple definition for what healing is. Healing is a shift and change in your energy that is ultimately for your benefit. That's it. Could be a huge shift or a small one or anything in between, but it is just that. And when we look at past life healing, it is a shift and change in the relationship between the energy and information from other lifetimes that you've lived and the energy and information contained within this current lifetime in your body and in your experience. So anytime the relationship between those two things changes, that is a past life healing. I want to also share a bit of my perspective on this beautiful, powerful facet of healing. When we incarnate into other lifetimes, or every single lifetime rather, a piece of our higher self, a facet of our higher self comes into our body each and every lifetime. And in that way, all of the lifetimes that we live are interconnected. But also, all of the lifetimes that we're living happen at the very same time. I truly believe that based on the experiences that I've had personally and also throughout the many, many readings and healings that I've given to other people. Because past, present, and future are all contained within the now. As soon as we step outside of the earth plane, outside of this body, all time is contained within the now. And that means that every single lifetime that we're living happens at once. I think it's really interesting and also awesome that there are so many movies, TV, books that are incorporating the multiverse, right? It's really interesting. Humanity perhaps is starting to really wake up to this as a truth. So there's some truth in all of those fictions that are really fun, right? All timelines, all universes, all experiences are essentially happening in the now. And that is a big why we're able to connect with the energy of other lifetimes. That you're able to do past life regressions or get a psychic intuitive reading and someone takes a look at the other lifetimes that you've lived in detail because they're all happening in the present. One of the first things that I learned when I stepped into formal training to be a psychic intuitive reader is that we only ever read energy from the vantage point of the present. That's it, right? And so that applies here. Absolutely. And that's also why, someone can give you many future possibilities because they're all contained in the now. It's also why techniques such as quantum jumping, that's become quite popular in recent years, are effective or can be effective because you can connect with that version of yourself that exists in another reality. We're all experiencing everything together now. So if you want to go macro, um, you could say that all healing that you do in this life heals your other lifetimes, heals the version of you in every single lifetime that you're living. Any kind of healing, whether you're strengthening your physical body and your essence, that ripples through the you of every single lifetime. Whether you're, healing uh, your relationship to self-love and bringing in more of that, well, that ripples all the way through you in every single lifetime. Any facet of healing heals you, past, present, future. And that's so powerful and I think so beautiful. Another thing I want to say, it's okay if it feels challenging to grasp the concept of all time happening at once. Um, just sit with it and let it sink in however it does. Right? I remember when I was a teenager, just a little aside, um, I had this phase where I got really bent out of shape about the concept of infinity. Like I would lie awake in the middle of the night and be like, I just don't get it. And that's okay. Eventually, I was okay with it. But our human minds and being on Earth, there are certain concepts, certain things that it's like we're just not built or made to comprehend the totality of it here. And that's okay. So let it be what it is. So we went macro. I'm talking about the big picture, that technically any type of healing that you do now heals you throughout all other lifetimes. Let's zoom in a little bit. What are some ways that you can experience or have past life healing? Or maybe we should call it other lifetime healing. There are really three that come into my awareness that I've experienced often, whether myself or in readings and healings. And it's not limited to that, but let's just start there. The first is that we can separate from the energy of other lifetimes. This comes up quite often. And for all of us, perhaps it's the first thing that comes to mind, like separate from that, be free to be you in this life. So sometimes we'll take a look at energy of other lifetimes, whether it's a past life regression, in meditation, in the reading and healing space, because we're being limited by some of that energy and information. A classic example of this is, people that have the witch wound. Perhaps you've heard of that term. What that means is, those of us that have lived other lifetimes where we were witches or healers, practitioners in a society where it wasn't okay, where it threatened the patriarchy, where it wasn't safe. That energy and information in our field now can be a huge limitation to being in the fullness of your expression in this life, right? Because sometimes that energy will feed in and say, it's not safe to speak up. It's not safe to be a healer in public. It's not safe to share your gifts because it wasn't then. So separating from that lifetime can be a huge healing for people. And again, that's a classic example. There's so many other ways that or types of energy that can be expressed and be a limitation to clear. And sometimes this will show up as energy and information that's stuck in someone's field. So in their aura, in their chakras, and other parts of the energetic body. Sometimes it'll be connected via an energetic cord. So yes, energetic cords can carry over from one lifetime to the next, or they can carry from a relationship in one lifetime through into this one. It's possible, right? And in a previous video where I talked about energetic cords, I shared that, you know, Almost all cords are non-beneficial when they stay past their expiration date. The only ones that are cords between a caretaker in the present and the person that's being cared for. So like mother and baby. Everything else, time to disconnect. So, these things can come up and we can work with energy tools to separate from those lifetimes and to disconnect, clear those cords. The second facet of past life healing is that we can look at another lifetime because we could benefit from bringing in the energy of that lifetime into our current experience. For example, perhaps you are drawn to a lifetime where you were a warrior, or it is shown to you in meditation, in a reading, in a regression, that you lived many lifetimes as a warrior. And in this current lifetime, you struggle with asserting yourself, with standing up for yourself. And so that lifetime is being highlighted to tell you that, hey, you are a warrior and you have been a fierce warrior in many lifetimes. You can bring that energy into your field, your body, chakras, and aura, and into your experience now, because that is also you. This is a really beautiful facet of past life healing, in my opinion, to know that if there's anything we're looking to cultivate within us, we already are that. We can have it. We have been that. And it's adjacent to a lot of the core concepts behind, again, quantum jumping and things like that. So you can work with energy tools and your highest guides absolutely to help you integrate that energy into your body and let it ripple into your present time experience. And then the third facet of past life healing that comes up often is we'll have a lifetime come to our attention because there is some karma to be completed from that lifetime. Karma is a big topic. And there are many ways that you can look at karma through different traditions and faiths. For all intents and purposes here, let's define karma as soul agreements or contracts that have not been completed, right? So sometimes a lifetime will come to our attention where there are some incomplete agreements that we're being asked to address and complete in this lifetime. An example. Maybe you lived another lifetime where you had a lot of agreements to be a teacher, to teach many. But for one reason or another, because we all have free will, you did not fulfill them. And that lifetime is coming forward as a nudge to you now. Hey, it's time to step into the role of teacher and complete karma, fulfill all of these agreements to teach people, right? So that's just one example of how that could manifest in the healing space. Sometimes we will naturally, and often will naturally complete karma as we go throughout this life, right? To go back to that example, maybe you feel the call to be a teacher and you just naturally step into the role and you complete all that karma. Wonderful. But also, there can be instances where you can use energetic tools to help you move things along and complete karma, right? So that you can be free to do other things, other agreements in this lifetime, right? And that's something that with experience or in a session, can ask and highlight to inform how you move forward in the healing space. So again, those are three of, I guess you could say, the most common ways that you can heal the relationship between this life and another lifetime, again, to separate from the energy of it, to bring in some energy or to complete karma that's left over from that particular lifetime. So I hope that this video is helpful to you and help to shine a light on this powerful component of our healing journeys. And if you enjoyed what I had to share, I invite you to hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do subscribe. I love to share content with you all, videos like this, and also guided meditations. I also wanted to let you know about a few resources that I have if you'd like to go further with this topic. One is that I do offer past life reading and healing services. I'm going to link that in the description below if that resonates with you. And I also will be sharing a past life healing meditation. I'll link that in the description below when it becomes live. It should be in the next week or so. And then I also will be offering some live in-person events this month. If you are in the Bay Area in California, I'm going to be teaching a workshop on reading and healing past lives at the Psychic Medium Witch October Psychic Festival. So I'll link that information for those of you that are local to check out. I'll also be offering live one-to-one services. And if you're listening beyond that time, I am so excited to be offering in the new year, so in January 2025 and beyond, a 6-month practitioner training called Intuitive Freedom. And throughout the 6 months together, you will learn how to perceive, read, interpret, and heal and shift energy, the energy of anything. It's a really comprehensive program. And one of the modules does specifically address looking at and healing and shifting other lifetimes. Also, there's a module on karma too, so that's covered more in depth. So there's a lot that I'm offering there. Includes one-on-one support. It includes practice sessions to be able to work with all of the tools and concepts. I'm super excited to be sharing it with you all. I'll put all of the information for that in the description below. So thank you again for spending time with me today, and I look forward to connecting with you in the next video.